From's most horrifying twist yet just changed everything. There are horror shows and then there's From, a series that doesn't just scare you with monsters in the dark. It scares you with hopelessness, with grief, with cruelty. And now, Season 4 may have delivered the most disturbing moment this show has ever done. Not because of gore, not because of monsters, but because this time, the town itself crossed a line. And if you watched episode 2 carefully, you already know exactly what I mean. Because Jim's death wasn't just tragic, it was calculated, it was personal, and it may reveal something terrifying about what this town truly is. Let's break it all down. The twist that broke fans for years, From has built its horror around survival, people trapped, creatures hunting them, mysteries everywhere. But underneath all of that, there has always been one emotional center, families trying to stay together. That's why Jim Matthews mattered. He wasn't perfect, he made mistakes, he argued, he doubted, but Jim represented something important. A father protect his children in a place designed to destroy hope. And when Season 4 Episode 2 gave fans the fake out that maybe Jim was still alive, only to reveal Julie and Ethan discovering their father's body, that wasn't just sad, that was vicious storytelling. Even Harold Perrineau, who plays Boyd, called it one of the town's most despicable moments. And honestly, he's right, because this wasn't random death. This was psychological torture. Why this scene was worse than any monster attack. Think about every brutal moment in Nefert from so far. People torn apart, night creatures ripping through houses, bloodshed everywhere. But those moments feel like predator attacks. This scene felt different because it had intent. The town let hope exist for a few seconds, then ripped it away. And not from adults, from children. Julie and Ethan weren't simply grieving, they were forced into trauma. That changes everything, because it suggests the evil in From doesn't just kill bodies, it studies pain, it understands emotional suffering, it knows exactly what hurts most, and it uses that. That makes the town more terrifying than any creature walking outside at night, because monsters hunt instinctively. But intelligence, cruel intelligence, that's another level. Is the town actually alive? This is one of the biggest fan theories right now, and moments like Jim's death give it more weight than ever. Because ask yourself, why do tragedies in From always seem emotionally targeted? Why are people broken in ways that feel specific to their fears? Why do events happen with almost theatrical timing? It's almost as if the town isn't just cursed, it's conscious, a living system, a force that feeds on despair. And if that's true, then Jim's death wasn't collateral damage. It was chosen because of who would suffer most afterward. Julie, Ethan, Tabitha, and even Boyd. That means every death in this series may have more purpose than we thought. Not survival logic, emotional harvesting, and that theory suddenly feels more real than ever. Boyd is finally breaking. One of the smartest parts of Season 4 so far is Boyd Stevens. For 3 seasons, Boyd has been the pillar, the man who keeps moving no matter what, even when he's injured, even when he's losing faith, even when everyone around him is collapsing. But now, he's cracking. Harold Perrineau described Boyd as mentally fractured, and you can feel it. The man who once believed he could save everyone is now counting bullets. Think about what that means. Bullets are finite. Hope is finite. Time is finite. Boyd is no longer operating like a leader. He's operating like a desperate man preparing for the end. That's huge, because Boyd's confidence was the town's last emotional shield. If Boyd falls, who leads next? Kenny? Donna? Acosta? No one seems ready, and the town knows it. The Ellis scene was more important than it looked. Many fans focused on Boyd collapsing into Ellis's arms, but there's deeper meaning there. For 3 seasons, Boyd has tried to be father, sheriff, protector, savior. He carries everyone, but in that moment, he became the one needing to be carried. That reversal matters, because From constantly explores broken family roles, parents failing children, children protecting parents, families shifting under trauma. Boyd being held by Ellis symbolized something painful. Even the strongest person eventually becomes human again. And if Boyd has finally reached that point, then Season 4 may become the story of leadership collapse. Julie and Ethan's future just got darker. Let's talk about the real victims here. Julie and Ethan, their trauma now enters a completely different stage. Ethan, especially, has always represented innocence, wonder, belief. Even when the town was horrific, Ethan still looked at the world through imagination. That may be over now. Losing Jim this way could destroy the last piece of childhood he had left. And Julie, she's already been changing, becoming harder, more emotionally scarred. Jim's death could push her into one of 2 directions. Either she becomes stronger or reckless. And honestly, either path would make sense. Fans should watch these 2 closely, because sometimes from the survivors become just as changed as the dead. Boyd versus Acosta. could become a war. One underrated storyline entering season 4 is Boyd and Acosta. At first glance, it feels like simple conflict, two people clashing. But Harold Perrineau hinted at something deeper. They may actually be similar. That's fascinating, because often the people we clash with most are mirrors of ourselves. Both Boyd and Acosta likely believe they know how to save people. Both carry responsibility, both are stubborn, both think action matters more than fear. That means their conflict may not come from hate, it may come from ego, and in a collapsing town, that kind of rivalry can be deadly. Don't be surprised if this relationship becomes one of season 4's biggest power struggles. What Jim's death could mean for the mystery. Here's where it gets interesting. Jim wasn't just another resident, he was one of the few characters actively trying to understand the mechanics of the town, signals, structures, patterns, meaning. So removing Jim may not only hurt the family, it may slow the investigation. Unless he already discovered something important before dying. And if that's true, his death could become the trigger for others finishing what he started. This would fit Frum's writing style perfectly. Take away the person closest to answers, then force everyone else to follow the trail. So Jim may still matter more dead than alive. 5 fans are calling this the cruelest twist yet, because death is expected in horror, but emotional manipulation? That hits differently. Fans didn't just lose Jim, they were emotionally tricked into hope first. That's why viewers reacted so strongly. The show weaponized expectation. And when a series can still shock audiences 4 seasons in, that's powerful storytelling. It means Frum still knows how to hurt us in new ways, and that's rare. What happens next? If season 4 started this brutally, then what comes next may be even darker. Boyd is unstable, families are shattered, leadership is fractured, the town appears more intelligent than ever, and trust is disappearing fast. That creates the perfect setup for chaos. Because once hope dies, people become dangerous. And honestly, the monsters outside may soon be the least of everyone's problems. Final theory, the town wants them to break each other. This is my biggest prediction. The creatures hunt at night, but the town itself works during the day. It manipulates grief, it creates suspicion, it causes panic, it pushes people toward bad choices. Maybe the goal was never simply killing them. Maybe the real game is making them destroy each other. If that's true, Jim's death was not the ending of a story. It was the start of a chain reaction, and season 4 could become the moment that town finally wins. But what do you think? Was Jim's death the cruelest moment in Frankfurt alive? From history, do you think the town is alive, and can Boyd survive one more season mentally? Drop your theories below, because with this show, the craziest answers are usually the closest ones. And if season 4 keeps going like this, we're nowhere near the worst part yet.